Hey everyone, welcome to Open. The Lehman College Theater Program presents Anna Deavere Smith's Fires in the Mirror, a play created in the aftermath of the 1991 Crown Heights riots, which made national headlines and changed Crown Heights' previous atmosphere of tolerance for its divergent cultures and pointed to the growing friction in racial and cultural relations across America. Fires in the Mirror touches upon issues of identity, belonging, and diversity of experience, proving that the 30-year-old wounds from the Crown Heights riots are still relevant more than ever today. And joining us to share more is Director of Theater at Lehman College, Richard Desrochers, and actors of Fires in the Mirror, Jean Carlos Pena and Matthew Garaicoa. Please... Hello and welcome. I'm saying please forgive me off the bat, right? I'm like, please.
No, you're so good.
No, I know, but it's the Garaicoa that I've been like stumbling on. Did I say it right?
Garaicoa.
Garaicoa. Ay.
Ay, pero tan español.
Yeah, I know. You know what it is? Well, our Director of Creative Services, his name is Garaicoa. His name is Walter Garaicoa, so I'm already used to saying Garaicoa like that. Yeah. And you have an extra I. I know. Let's not get stuck on the last name, pero forgive me in advance because I just opened up with please. All right, so Richard. Hello. It's a good thing we're all thespians here, right? Oh, gosh, welcome to all of you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Lehman's curriculum and how you choose these particular projects to, I guess, bring social justice into light.
Yeah, it's been a mission of mine ever since I've been here at Lehman to do exactly that for two reasons: to bring social justice issues to our students, but also for them to understand their own history. I find that a lot of times, especially in high school, they're just not getting this history. They're not getting this understanding of their own communities and what's happened in it. And then we have these incidents like with the Black Lives Matter, suddenly these things spring up and then rioting begins and people are like, why? How is this happening? Where's this coming from? And it's because of the wounds of the past and in these sort of situations that people haven't dealt with. So all of our shows are picked on that subject. So the first show we did at Lehman when I came in as director was a show called Busted about, and so that folks could understand their Fourth Amendment rights, because at the time, the city was very much about stop and frisk, especially in this community. And in fact, one of our actors coming to a rehearsal was actually stopped by the police, racially profiled because he looked, a certain way, and he was late for rehearsal, said, I can't believe this is happening. And so this was like, okay, we're doing the right thing, and also just to get people information, on what they're doing. And so recently, and Matthew was part of this project, we did a devised project about called Palante, which is about the young lord's legacy in the 21st century for these guys, so that they would, again, know their own history, and also understand that these legacies continue. And they're sort of the next generation bringing that forward by doing these shows.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction to how they're developing, and not only in your craft, right? In your knowledge, of your history, right? Mm-hmm. So first, share with us what characters you're playing in this particular show. So we'll start with you, Matthew.
Yeah, sure. So one of the characters that I'm playing is the wonderful philosopher in Black Panther, Angela Davis. She's probably one of the most powerful characters I've ever acted in a play, because she really demands to be heard, because at that time things were so difficult in this very heated climate that it was almost impossible not to kind of speak up. Part of the work that we do is kind of learning who these characters are, but Fires in the Mirrors is a bit different because you're not playing a character, you're playing real people.
Right.
So Angela Davis is really demanding these very hard-hitting concepts, talking about race and community and stuff like that, and how we need to really change our mindset on that. And she's just wonderful to be able to be played.
Oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. I am. What a wonderful character to be crafting. Oh my. So Jean Carlos, do you mind sharing with our viewers a little background of the story before you even share what character you're playing?
Oh yeah, of course. So a lot of this started, of course, with the Crown Heights incident, which a lot of you might be familiar with already. in simple terms, Jewish man drives down in Crown Heights and accidentally, fatally hits Carmel Cato's child. And as soon as that happens, it creates this huge ripple effect to the entire community, both Black and Jewish.
Right.
And the play is kind of about that. It's about those ripples and the way that it impacts people.
Right.
I mean, there were riots, there were cars being destroyed, fire hydrants being broken. This is the kind of impact that we're trying to
address. Right. So it's the Jewish man had an accident, and then the Black community retaliated. They murdered him.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, we're still kind of going through issues as such. And so what character are you playing?
I'm playing George C. Wolfe. Now, George C. Wolfe, my God. Like, I've seen interviews of him, and he is like enigmatic. He is like energizing. Like, his brain is here, his brain is there, his brain is like everywhere in the room. And yet, despite that intensity, he also has like this sense of camaraderie, the sense of collaboration. He's very much like everything. And I really enjoy a character like that, because I feel like, especially with some of the more grave elements of the play, he's this very like warm and inviting energy. He's talking to you like you're a friend.
Right.
And I feel like, especially with him talking about these like systematic issues and how it's personally impacted him and where his heart's at, to be able to say that with a sense of like heart, it takes takes like courage.
Right, instead of being angry.
Exactly.
I got you. I was listening, right? And so let's talk about the title, Fires in the Mirror, and what it's reflecting, and through whose reflection we're looking at it through.
So we were talking about this over there in the corner, and these guys were so articulate about it. I'm going to let them take it.
Oh, my.
That was amazing, actually.
He's the director.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
time to work, actors.
That's right.
For me, one of the things that really, there's this great metaphor that somebody talks about society being kind of like a pressure cooker, where things aren't really spontaneous. People say that these events kind of pop out of nowhere, but they're more like lifting the lid off of a very hot pressure cooker. It'll get really hot and hot and hot. And when you look at society and the climate between other types of communities and stuff like that, you can't help but understand like this reflection of like fire. And the play really isn't about, a retelling of the story, but rather a reflection of like who the actual people were, because this was real.
Right.
Sometimes we forget that there were real people behind these stories and stuff like that. Like someone's brother was murdered, someone's child was killed. And not only as the audience, but as the actors and the people that we're representing, we have to reflect upon this fire that's going on around us.
That's still forming, right? That kind of simmers and then it comes back.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the idea, right? Is that we try to stop repeating it. And so what do you think people are going to leave with? Obviously, this is an experience that you guys are presenting.
Yeah.
Right? But more so, particularly where we are right now in our current climate of a lot of destruction going on and a lot of hate and differences.
Right.
So choosing this particular play, I'm assuming, is also to shed some light on this matter.
Right.
What do you think people are going to walk away with?
Right. So kind of adding on to like what Matthew was saying about the fact that these are real people, I feel first and foremost, what you're getting out of it is an experience. You're coming into this and we're essentially giving you an opportunity, almost like a portal, to enter into this time period and to hear these people's thoughts as if it were being uttered the first time.
Right.
And so that's the kind of experience that we're placing onto you. But also adding on to like the kind of Israel-Palestine conflict that's happening right now.
Right.
We're in a moment right now where information is being overloaded to us all the time. We're seeing so much information and it's so easy to be reactive.
Right.
Everybody wants to react. Everybody wants to have a solid response or counter
Everybody
argument.
wants to react, including our country.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Way too quickly than they should. And so what we're essentially giving to you now is an opportunity to reflect. Instead of being reactive and just going off of the first thing that you hear, really tune your ear and be knowledgeable, be aware, be willing to listen to these people and let those thoughts marinate inside of you. Let it become part of you for a minute and then act and then make your decision. Because I feel like, especially now, in a time where we're being given so much, we have to think more. We have to be more calculative and understanding.
Oh my gosh, you guys bring me so much hope. No, because everything's moving so fast and everybody's always, just scrolling and then absorbing their information from all kinds of sources without really taking the time to research and learn the history.
And also sit inside someone else's experience, because they're playing characters not themselves, right? They're showing an experience and empathizing from the other point of view. So it's very easy to sit there and sort of look at another culture and go, oh, look at those people, what they're doing, and how wrong that is, and then see the connections that are going on here. And I think by stepping into somebody else's shoes and performing that, you actually get that empathy. And couldn't we use a little bit of this all over the world right now?
Oh my gosh, could we use some humanity, right? Because that's what you're actually invoking once you step into their shoes, right? Is that sense of humanity, that empathy, that, understanding from a place of sitting in that person's shoes. Right? Oh, you're brilliant, director.
Oh, well, thank you. They're doing all the work. The beauty of this is that, as you can see, is that when you're working on something, producing or directing something, it's really the actors take over, and then they are the ones that are conveying the story. And to me, the beauty of this is to see these young people like understanding that history and also trying to figure out those connections for themselves and for their community and say that across the table. That to me is the best part of it.
Yeah. And I gotta say, you guys are our future, and I'm really impressed with the leadership that you're already carrying in your being. So thank you for bringing it here. Have a great show. Before we go, just share with everyone the dates and the run of the show.
Okay, so we open, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, November 15th, yes?
Yep.
At 4 p.m. And then we have shows of November 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. And it's in the Studio Theater here at Lehman College, right here on campus, right down the road from Carmen Hall.
Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Matthew. That's all I'm going to call you today. And then Jean Carlos. Thank you. And Rick Desrochers, once again, Director of Theater at Lehman College. And they were here speaking about Fires in the Mirror. And performances of Fires in the Mirror begins Wednesday, November 14th through Saturday, November 18th at the Lehman College Studio Theater, located at 250 Bedford Park Boulevard in the Bronx. For more information on tickets and upcoming shows, you can visit lehman.edu. Stay tuned. There's more open when we return.